How do we invest ethically? Is there a possibility to invest ethically and build? Oh, sorry, I'll finish that question. And build wealth.
Is that for me or Tony, Paul?
I'll go to Tony for this one. He's had a break.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, look, absolutely. There's ways to invest ethically. Certainly, over the last 10 years, we've had a significant increase in ethical investments. And so the one question that your advisor, KP, Joel, or Trevor, will ask you is, number one, what do you mean by ethically? Because your ethics will be completely different to the person beside you. So and it's about getting an understanding of that, and then we'll be able to source the right investments. So as an example, if you want no gambling, or, I don't want anything to do with mining, chalk and cheese. So it will depend on what it means to you, and then we can certainly put together portfolios around that.
Yeah, great. Ethically sustainable, I know they can be very different as well. I know that some of the more sustainable investments don't have or lack the economic data purely because they're new industries, so it makes it very hard to project.
Absolutely.
Something to be aware of. Okay, another one for you, Tony, while I've got you there.
Yep.
This one hasn't got a name, but it's coming from Dandenong. I'd like some information on margin loans for investing in shares.
Okay, very simple. Seek advice, because if you get it wrong, you can do some real damage. So we've got some
Before you go on, mate, could I just get your definition of what a margin loan is for those who don't know?
Yeah, so that is that is borrowing against the shares that you're actually going to purchase, and they'll only lend you up to a certain percentage as well. So as an example, if I've got $50,000 and I can go and borrow an extra, and depending on how much they will lend you, they'll lend you another $30,000 or $50,000 to invest as well, to be used for investments. I would advise at this point in time that you certainly seek advice. I have come across portfolios from other businesses where, or people that have been burnt before. And in fact, there was a very, you may have heard of Storm Financial up here in Queensland, up in Townsville, that were doing it quite a lot as well. And where their clients' portfolios had effectively blew up. So risky strategy. However, when done properly, can be very profitable for you over a long-term period. But it's all about the right ratios, and I can tell you that KP, Joel, Trevor have had extensive training, and they know exactly what they're talking about when it comes to margin lending. Okay,
thank you. Roy, you've had a bit of a break sitting there doing nothing. I've got some great questions here. People are sitting at home, coming into tax season, thinking, how do I pay less tax? So I've got some questions here. What can I claim when I'm working from home? Can I claim my car more? What do I need to show the ATO working from home? What part of my home can I claim? And is there anything I'm missing? My answer is claim everything, but I'll hand over to you before anyone takes that on board.
Oh, we certainly want to maximise the tax deductions while you're working at home. The critical point is that you keep a diary on the hours that you're working from home. 1 month is suitable for the tax office pre-COVID-19, but then the number of months that you're working at home while COVID-19's on. So we'll have a split rate. We've got 2 separate rates we can use, and there'll be a percentage of internet, home office, stationary, when I say home office, light and power. So there's a whole myriad of things. But don't fall into the trap of thinking because you're working at home, automatically my car or my travel is a tax deduction. It doesn't make the car a tax deduction. You're still using the car to drive out and do the shopping and drop the kids off, etc. So you'll have a logbook that actually determines what percentage is work-related. And just because you are spending some time at home, so I may wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and work between 6 and 7 in my home office, and then at 7 o'clock I drive to the office, that does not make my trip from home to work a tax deduction. So don't fall into that trap.
Okay. A follow-on question. If I'm working from home, 3 days a week, does a portion of my mortgage then become deductible as well?
If we were to claim a portion of your mortgage, when you sell the family home, you actually have to pay capital gains tax. When we run the numbers, it's just not worth it. The benefit is so much less than what the cost is later. So we would normally not claim a percentage of your mortgage for that reason and that reason alone.
Yeah. it's a good indication that the complexities are not always black and white.
Very true. Before, I know we're about to finish up, and you maybe have a few more questions, but can I just add a couple of pointers before I call it quits for the day?
Yeah.
The comment about when's a good time to invest, and I agree 100% with Tony, it's always a good time to invest. But right now, I'm not the financial planner in the room. I'm the accountant giving tax advice. From an outside point of view, boy, if I wanted to push somebody in to get some advice, I'd be doing it right now. Despite all the commentary about it's always a good time, right now is it. And if I had the ability to get money from the bank at 2 to 3% and put it in the market, just the return from dividends will beat that. And the potential for upside, if you get the right stocks, enormous, really big, and say now is the right time to talk to an advisor. Yeah,
great insights. And while we're having some technical issues there, we'll come back to some more questions. That's a good insight, Roy, and I think it's a big value of RJS. You've got everybody there. You can ask those questions on the day, or you can do it during your meeting. So it's fantastic. I think as we start to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen, something I would like to remind everybody that everybody here today will have the ability, free of charge, complimentary, to speak to an advisor, one of the RJS team. We're going to offer 30 minutes, and that'll allow you to speak very personally about your exact situation, your exact goals, and get a more detailed and fuller answer from one of the professionals who can ask some more specific questions of you as well. So bear that in mind. Everybody will be offered that.